Oh man, welcome to the latest edition of Varsity Aces Live. My name is Darren Cooper. I'm the local sports columnist on North3.com. And we've got three really remarkable men on our show tonight, all hailing from St. Joe's and Montvale. We've got head football coach Dan Marangi. We've got Audric Estime, running back Audric Estime, and offensive lineman Geno VanDeMark. We'll talk to our players first, but they're both making their commitments to Michigan State and East Lansing, and the big news about the Big Ten starting up today. We're going to start with the offensive linemen because they never get any love. Is that okay, Geno?
Absolutely.
Let's start with you, Geno. First, we live in strange times. The first question always has to be, how's your family doing? Anybody been sick? Have you been okay? I mean, how's everybody doing in your house?
Yeah, I appreciate you asking. Everybody in my immediate family has been good through this whole pandemic. One of my cousins that lives in the city with some underlying health issues as well. He got it, but in around April, I'd say. But he recovered pretty well, and he's good now. So thankfully, everybody in my family's been all good. How about yours? How about you? How about your family? Everybody good? Apart from you.
We were just talking before the show started. My nephew just contracted the virus down at LSU the other day, but he should recover and be okay. But thank you for asking, Geno. It has definitely made a strange off season, right, Geno? I mean, things have not been like they usually have. How have you dealt with that?
Well, I mean, things were a bit different this year. We weren't in the weight room at St. Joe's. We were doing Zoom workouts with the team. I actually built a weight rack in my backyard out of 2x4. Yeah, with a couple of my brothers, baseball buddies that play in college. They and I, we built it out of 2x4. We built a squat and bench rack. We molded weights out of cement.
Really?
$150 for the materials, and we just grinded it out like old school style.
So, how'd you become a football player then, Geno?
I was always a baseball kid growing up. My dad and my mom, my uncle on my mom's side, they actually both played in the MLB. They were both baseball kids. My brother was a baseball kid growing up in high school at Bergen Catholic. I was always a baseball player, but then one day I was 6'3", 310 pounds in freshman year, or going into freshman year, and somebody said, "Hey, you should play football." I was like, "All right, I'll start playing football," and it just clicked ever since. I fell in love with the game, started paying attention to college, NFL ball, and I just fell in love with the game, and I wanted to get better, and it just worked out.
How'd you end up at Joe's?
My brother went to Bergen Catholic. One of his known for their offensive line, and I wanted to go where the best offensive line is and be coached by the best offensive line coach I possibly could, which obviously is Coach Frank Caro. And it just clicked, and the day I got there, I loved the place and fell in love with the brotherhood, and everybody welcomed me with open arms, and it's been the best 3.5 years of my life.
What was the recruiting process like? How was it overwhelming at times? Was it strange at times? Did your phone ring off the hook? Is it still ringing off the hook?
Things have slowed down now, thankfully. However, it's an awesome time. I mean, every kid, every football player wants to be a recruit, wants to be recruited, wants to have colleges trying to get them to get the kid to go to where they are. Yeah, it was a blessing. It was all a blessing, and I'm extremely thankful for every college coach that extended me the offer to represent the university on the football field.
And how did I'm kind of curious to know how the pandemic and stuff impacted like the last 6 months? Like, did it? I mean, had you gone on all your visits? You had your mind sort of made up, and what kind of changed with that?
It's quite the opposite. Right before I was supposed to start visiting like some schools down south, out west, and all over the country, like literally 5 days before my flight were to depart, the NCAA shut down recruiting. So I really only got to visit a handful of schools that I was considering, and I just had to basically just do all my recruiting through virtual tours, and then I was able to get out to East Lansing with Audric in August, I believe. Yeah, it was August. And then the second I stepped on campus, I just fell in love with the place, and I just knew that that's where I wanted to be.
So, what was the deciding factor? What was the tipping point, Geno? I've talked to kids for years and asked them this kind of question. Like, there's got to be some moment or some scene that you just saw. It was like, yes, this is home. This is it.
Well, I mean, from day one, I really clicked with Coach Cap, their offensive line coach. Coach Frank really speaks highly of him. They have a great relationship, from high school coach to college coach, because one of St. Joseph's offensive linemen, All-American offensive lineman Tommy Hatton, played under Coach Cap at UNC.
Right, UNC.
Yeah, and he and I have a great relationship, and that's really just what it was. Like the relationship I have with the coaching staff just stood out from any other college coaching staff. Sorry.
And hey, and the Big Ten made a little news today, huh? They're going to play ball, huh? How'd you hear that news?
I was in our lunch break at school today. We're allowed to use our phones, and I was just scrolling through Twitter, and I looked at like one of the like the happening now, whatever it is, and I just saw Big Ten trending, and I just saw Big Ten expected to like play football this fall. I was like, awesome! I can't wait to watch Michigan State and watch the rest of the Big Ten play ball.
The last thing, pretend you're talking to Michigan State alumni and Michigan State. What do you want people to know about you, Geno, and Eastland?
Well, I mean, about me personally, I want them to know that I'm a hardworking kid. I'm going to come in. I'm going to represent their school as well as I can on and off the field. I'm going to give my all to the program, both academically and athletically. And Audric and I are going to come in. We're going to do some damage.
All right. Speaking of Mr. Estime, we got any clips we can show about what Audric Estime can do? Mr. Miller, what do you got?
Estime into the St. Joe's touchdown.
All right, that's good with the clip. We're honored now to be joined by Mr. Estime. Let's hope he can plug back in. We've lost Audric for a second. Geno, were y'all really a package deal, man? What was the story?
Well, since freshman year, we always we would always like just talk like, man, it would be sick to go to college together and be with your boy for another 4 years, and it just ended up like, obviously like me committing didn't mean Audric was going to commit, but I mean, it was just something we talked about since freshman year, and it just ended up working out that way. I feel like we both felt that was the best fit for both of us, and I think that's really awesome.
That's awesome. All right, there he is, Mr. Estime. How are you today?
I'm back.
Good to see you, my friend.
Thank you.
My first question has to be what I asked Geno too. Like, how's your family doing? Obviously we live in strange times and people are sick. I asked everybody. How are you? How are things going?
My family's doing great, God willing. We're just staying healthy, going through the days. How's your family doing?
Good, my friend. Good. My nephew may have contracted the virus, but he's tested positive. But so far, so good. He's down in Louisiana, dodging hurricanes. But I appreciate that. What was the off season like in the light of this pandemic and stuff going on? You couldn't track it. We didn't have a real summer.
Yeah, the off season was pretty ordinary, honestly, but you had to get the best out of it. Even though if you can't be together with the team, I had to check in on the team, see how they're doing, and I got in work with some of my teammates and some former teammates. But it was a little different. But you had to get the best out of it to be ready for this upcoming year.
How'd you get started playing football?
I started playing football at a young age. I started playing at 4. So all my brothers, my cousins, they all played football, and I'm a huge football family. Like my aunt, we watch football every Sunday, every Thursday. So I think I was just born into playing football, and right when I was able to run, I put on the shoulder pads.
So who's your pro team? We already know who your college team is. Who's your pro team?
The Dallas Cowboys.
The Dallas Cowboys. They got a pretty good running back, huh?
Yes, sir. Yeah, they have a real good running back. I think the best in the league.
Fantastic, but they got hosed on the pass interference call the other night.
I know. Tell me about it.
That was a tough one. What was your crazy did it get?
About my recruiting process?
Yeah.
My recruiting process got a little pretty crazy, but it could be a little overwhelming sometimes. But at the other time, you got to think that you're blessed to be in this position. A lot of people, like Geno said, a lot of people pray every night to be here, and I'm here. So you just got to go through it, and it'll be over. You can only pick one school, so it'll be over a certain amount of time, and my recruiting process is over, as you could tell.
Did you and Geno really talk about going to the same place?
Yeah, we never we didn't plan it, but we've been talking about going to the same place since sophomore year. Honestly, it's a blessing to go with your teammate. because you know that no matter what happens, you have my back and I have my back. So we definitely spoke about it a couple of times. And
Audric, did you tip him off before you tweeted it out?
Yeah, I tipped him off.
You did?
Yeah, I did.
What did you like about Michigan State? What told you on Michigan State?
It's just a relationship I have with the coaching staff because they're a new staff. They're from Colorado, so right when they came to Michigan State, I was legit the first guy they hopped on. So I like that, and I love loyalty, and that's important to me. And I know when I go there, I'll be in good hands. And they have a plan for me, and I'm ready to make this plan come true.
Hey, what do we want to study?
What'd you say?
What do we want to study?
I want to study sports marketing.
Are we healthy? Do we feel good?
We'll feel great. I'm ready to go right now.
Last thing for you, I asked you this: if you were talking to somebody from Michigan State or a fan from Michigan State, what would you want them to know about you?
I want them to know that I'm a hardworking kid, and I'm gonna come in every day, give 100%, and no matter what happens, I'm gonna give 100%. Even if we're down by 50, I'm gonna give 100% to make us winners. I'm gonna come and be a winner, and I'm gonna come in and be great, and I'm gonna change the program. And we're gonna get a championship. That's what I have to say to the Michigan State fans.
All right. Thank you so much for a few minutes of your time, Audrey. You have a great night.
No problem. You too.
And now let's turn the page to the guy who's the coach of all this talent, first-year St. Joe's coach, Dan Marangi. Dan, it's good to see you. How are you?
It's good to see you, Darren. How's everything?
Good. You got a new addition in your house, don't you? And I don't mean a new room.
Yeah, no, that's right. Baby boy, 5 weeks old today.
5 weeks old today?
5 weeks old today.
How much do we weigh? 11 pounds? 12 pounds?
No, still in the 10 and a half.
Still in the 10
and a half range. Yep.
So not much sleep in the Marangi house right now.
Nah, it's football season anyway. There's not much sleep going on in this household. Just learning how to hold the baby while I'm watching tape.
Let's talk a little bit about Geno and Audric. We just had them on. Mm-hmm. You're watching Varsity Aces Live. I'm Darren Cooper. That's St. Joe's football coach Dan Marangi. It's interesting that they both really did seem to talk about this years ago. Like, hey, maybe it'd be cool to. A lot of kids talk like that, but not many actually.
No, I think they, they talked about it, and they both felt it was they both felt comfortable there. At the end of the day, and it happened. It so happened to be that they both felt comfortable at the same schools. So that it worked out. The way they had planned it, or the way they were hoping for. I think at the end of the day, if one of them didn't feel comfortable, they probably wouldn't have gone to school together. But they both felt comfortable at the same place, and so it worked out in this case.
So let's talk about him individually. Where do you think Geno fits in on the college level? What kind of player do you think he can be?
I think he can. He's almost a plug and play player. He's going to be probably, I'd say, either guard or right tackle at the next level. He's got all the ability. He's got great feet. He's light on his feet, which is usually the hardest thing for linemen to learn. It's so and he's good at pass blocking. So, I think he'll fit in just fine up there. And Audric, is a powerful downhill runner who's going to get you the yardage.
Yeah, Audric looks like he could play tomorrow in the Big Ten.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, you draw up a prototypical Big Ten back, you probably draw Audric.
So where do you guys stand right now in terms of your preparation for week 1, scrimmage next week and stuff? What is it almost like, hey guys, we're getting closer. We're getting closer. We're really going to play a game soon.
Yeah, we're getting closer, but we're just trying to take it day by day, get better every day. Work out some of the kinks. There's obviously, a different mode of preparation that we've, had to adjust to a shorter amount of time. So, we've had to cut back some things and, cut out some things and just try and get in playing shape and a playing mode. So
has the hardest thing been, and from talking to your colleagues and the rest of the Big Six, without being able to really see the guys all summer in pads and workouts and stuff, is to spot that one junior kid who suddenly made a big stride and should be your tight end, or a kid who should be playing left guard, because you couldn't really get to see them. It's got to be a little frustrating, the inability to evaluate to some degree.
Well, that's pretty much what we're doing. This first week is evaluating to see, how kids. There's some kids that completely change their bodies and come out of nowhere and are big surprises, which is great to see. We got some great challenges going on. So this whole week now is just evaluation and getting people in the right places, and then we'll give it a dry run in a scrimmage, and we'll see where we go from there.
How important is the scrimmage, Dan?
I think it's important, especially just from a communication standpoint, from the sideline to the huddles, and getting guys. We've been around. Everything shut down in March, so to go out and play something else and have a real live simulated game, I think it's important. To get that feel, and then get used to all the different protocols that are going to be taking place with rules and stuff like that this season, because it's obviously it's something brand new to all of us.
But then you open up the season with a real cupcake, though. I right?
Sure.
Some team in Oradell, right?
No, exactly. There's no warm up this year. It's don't it's feet right to the fire and see what you got right out of the gate. Obviously, Bergen is going to be they're loaded with talent. And we're going to come out and give it our best shot and see what happens. But we expect a great battle, as it always is. And we wouldn't want to have it any other way, to be honest with you.
Of course, it's a great rivalry. It'll be a great game. It's always been. It's always what we had. We had 4. They played 4 overtime games last decade. Your offensive line, though, seemed it. We'd be remiss if we didn't mention the fact that this is your first year as head coach, been on staff. But I don't think you don't have to reinvent the wheel. I mean, this is a program that was pretty strong. A lot of coaches, I think, a lot of new coaches sometimes step in and think, well, we got to change because I'm new. But no, you're familiar. You don't need to do that.
No, I mean, myself, Coach Hoff, we both had a lot of the same philosophies. So, there isn't much change. If any. So, yeah. We're both bred on being physical, tough. We're going to run the ball. We're going to pound it. We're going to play great defense.
Hey, you think Coach Hoffman had a good day today, though? You think today was a good day for him?
I think he's excited.
Yeah,
he gets. I was going to offer him I think I got a position, in the equipment office for him if he was bored this offseason. But no, I'm happy for him, and I'm happy for the Rutgers staff that they get to go out and play, because I know they put a lot of work in, and Coach Geno and staff put a lot of work in for this season, and get at least get out and play this first season, because I felt the same way last spring too. You get in your first season, and it's what are we doing? No idea.
Right.
And you want to get out and play.
If you don't know what we're talking about, then you really probably should be watching a different show right now. But this is Varsity Aces Live. We're talking to St. Joe's football coach Dan Marangi, referencing Augie Hoffman, the former coach at St. Joe's, now at Rutgers. The Big Ten, of course, announcing their return to play today. It was a very calm and reasoned decision, right? There was no political or anything. It didn't get any messy or anything. It was very calm and very quiet, right?
No, I'm sure.
Yeah, it was all very, very calm. No chatter about it.
No, none at all.
But now in New Jersey, we have maybe I don't want to call it a controversy, but we're still kind of at odds about what our playoffs will look like and what your playoffs will look like when it comes to the non-public school, because we're going to have 4 team groupings based on geography and competitive balance, and I think there's a part of me that wants to explain to you that someone in your position and at Bergen Catholic and at Bosco and St. Peter's will play anybody, right? Just line it up.
Tell us when and where we got to be. If we got to go out to Oradell Ave, Franklin Turnpike, or Chestnut Ridge Road, or wherever we got to go, we'll go play. At this point, we're just happy to be playing and just want to play games, compete.
All right. Tell me a couple of kids on St. Joe's are going to surprise people this year.
I think you got a couple guys. I think you're going to see big things from Logan Rivera. He's had a great camp.
Okay.
Obviously, you have Frankie Monty. You know, we got Audric in the backfield. I think Nuri Robinson as a wide receiver. You know, and you know, I think everybody forgets that Christian Abraham is part of our squad. So you know, I think you're gonna see some big things from them. And then we got some young guys in the secondary that are, you know, showing some great things this camp. And Jalen Wade, Ty Mays, Trey Watkins, and Peter Shue.
How much of a hand will you be calling the defense still there?
I plead the fifth.
Okay, no,
No,
good.
no,
Good.
no. You know, I'm gonna have input, and you know, I got some great coaches on the defensive staff, and John Churchu and Dan DiCongilio, been around and been with me for years, so you know they know what's expected, and they you know they're gonna be running the show. But you know, obviously, you know they know I got their back 100% if they need my help.
Last thing for you, everybody, protocols have all been okay. Your kids adapted real well to all that stuff.
Yeah, everything's been, you know, the first couple days were, you know, hectic as like everybody else, you know,
Sure.
was running around and making sure guys had their masks on and, you know, keeping the distance and doing more of that than actually coaching. But, you know, once we got into a routine, everything is about a routine. You know, we get in a routine, we get in a solid routine, everything starts to go smoother and smoother. So, you know, we've adapted as we went along.
All right, Coach, it was great talking to you. We heard the dog barking in the background. That wasn't the baby crying.
No. That was the dog running around.
All right,
So,
it was great to
excited.
see you. I'll talk to you real soon.
I appreciate it, Darren. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach.
You got it.
That'll wrap things up here on Varsity Aces Live tonight. I want to thank our very special guests from St. Joe's, running back Audric Estime and offensive lineman Geno VanDeMark, both pledging to Michigan State. You know, we really do see kids talk about being package deals all the time, but those two guys actually really did it. So, and of course, the Green Knights will open up the season against Bergen Catholic in about 2.5 weeks or so. So you want to be there for that one. Thank you so much. Signing off here from Varsity Aces World Headquarters as my phone goes off. I'm Darren Cooper. Remember, let the coaches coach, players play, and the officials officiate. Let the Varsity Aces tell you what you need to know. Good night, everybody.